The so-called typical customer no longer exists, and companies have been learning this lesson the hard way. Until very recently, business was more concerned about the what's than about the who's. In other words, companies were focused on selling as many products and services as possible without regard to who was buying them. Most corporations cling to this product-centric view even today, basing their organizational structures and compensation plans on the products they sell, not the customers who buy. Consumers had more choices in the past than ever before about where to do their banking, their grocery shopping, and their vacationing. The regulation increased competition even further as it drove prices down. Companies were forced to invent new methods of interacting with customers to reduce costs and gain market share. Using of automated teller machines, ATMs, and interactive voice response systems increased, but customers weren't necessarily more satisfied than before. Executives soon realized cost reduction tactics weren't enough to satisfy either customers or shareholders, who continued to call them on the carpet for eroding margins. Maximizing profitability was the real name of the game. The paradox was that companies couldn't very well increase profits while simultaneously enticing new customers with price breaks. The cost of acquiring customers. Nowadays, the competition is just a mouse click away. Embattled companies are slouching toward the realization that without customers, products don't sell and revenues don't materialize. They have been forced to become smarter about selling, and this means becoming smarter about who is buying. Companies are reading the competitive writing on the wall and looking to technology for a leg up. This combined with the fact that it costs a company 6 times more to sell a product to a new customer than it does to sell to an existing one, the old bird in the hand thus coming to roost, has motivated businesses to try to maximize existing customer relationships, and the main way to squeeze every drop of value from existing customers is to know who the best customers are and motivate them to stay the way. Indeed, a good starter definition of customer relationship management is the infrastructure that enables the delineation of an increase in customer value, and the correct means by which to motivate valuable customers to remain loyal, indeed to buy again. Customer relationship management is about more than simply managing customers and monitoring their behaviors. CRM has the potential to change a customer's relationship with a company and increase revenues in the bargain. The most forward-thinking companies have recognized from past failures that CRM smacks of strategy, and thus technology alone can't address high-profile issues such as new customer acquisition and web-based marketing. To these companies, CRM is much more than a standalone project accounted for by a single organization. It's a business philosophy that affects the company at large. The estimated 70% of companies who have tried implementing standalone CRM systems and failed, as well as the legions of other companies who have taken missteps on their e-business journeys, might have a few comments. As with ERP systems, supply chain management, and other wide-reaching corporate programs that mandate a combination of innovative technologies, new business processes, and organizational buy-in, CRM's failures are vast and visible. Customer loyalty. If consumers purchased only what they really needed, the economy would collapse. Indeed, one could argue that the heady mixture of good times and popular fads, from protein bars to same-sex fragrances to sport utility vehicles, has created a veritable buying frenzy. But consumers are fickle and more cynical than ever before. We no longer believe what we read and see, and for large purchases we are more inclined to do our own research. Your company has just announced another strategic alliance. You've got a cool new animated logo. You're on your 4th round of venture funding. So what? Consumers are also busier than ever and have consequently placed a premium on their leisure time. After all, Why tramp through aisle upon aisle of merchandise when I can order groceries off the web and spend more time with the kids, and pizza and dog food, and even that sport utility vehicle? In a recent survey of the companies actively implementing CRM, 93% claimed increased loyalty and customer satisfaction would justify their customer relationship management investment. The second highest percentage, 83%, stated the need to demonstrate increased revenue. The implied mandate for most of these early adopters seems to be customer loyalty at any cost, even if we don't see a return on investment. It certainly doesn't make much for a consumer to turn her head to a competing product or vendor. But just as loyalty is becoming the mantra on every executive's lips, customer satisfaction rates are plummeting. It's practically routine these days for consumers to vow never to do business with a particular merchant. Regardless of their frenetic embrace of the customer, companies seem to be angering customers at a faster pace that they are serving them. Treating customers like a cattle is the antithesis of CRM, the goal of which is to recognize and treat each customer as an individual. That said, if one individual is dissatisfied, odds are he'll tell a collection of other individuals. One widely accepted marketing rule of thumb claims the average unhappy customer tells 8 other potential customers about his or her negative experience. Such spreading of consumer disapproval turns the world of viral marketing, which depends on word of mouth from true believers, upside down. Optimizing the customer experience. Companies are spending millions of dollars trying to prevent acerbic customer testimonials like the ones we've been talking about, and to figure out tactics that will not only help them keep customers, but keep their customers coming back. Indeed, as much as CRM technologies tend to usurp its other components, customer relationship management can be as simple as saying thanks for your business. Although some customers require a level of personalized service and customized products that make them feel special, others simply appreciate good manners. And this is the crux of CRM: how to differentiate customer treatment according to individual preferences. In fact, many companies have recently appended their CRM or customer care initiatives with the goal of owning the customer experience. The implication is less about controlling what happens during a customer interaction than it is about the ability to influence how a customer perceives her contact with the company, be it through an advertisement, ordering a product, or calling customer support with a problem. CRM can allow the company to surmise a customer's unspoken needs. The most visionary businesses understand that singular customer experiences will drive loyalty to levels unknown. Those who have already adopted a customer-focused culture understand that CRM done well influences customer emotion. It makes customers feel good, personally connected. It humanizes their purchase or service request or complaint. These companies define the truly loyal customers as someone who feels such goodwill toward the company that he sells its products to others, in effect acting as a voluntary company agent. Moreover, he takes pleasure in proselytizing the company and its products, thus repeating his own positive customer experience each time he relates his story. Talk to a marketing executive for a large bank or credit card company, and she or he might claim to have been doing CRM long before the term was invented. Indeed, large financial institutions were at the forefront of relationship marketing, and it is a subset of CRM. The emergence of the Internet heralded a new opportunity for customer relationship building. For one thing, search engines made it easier for customers to find online merchants and interact with them. and once found, those merchants offered customers more streamlined ways of ordering and receiving products and services. Moreover, the Internet simplified bidirectional communication, for the first time offering a better way for consumers to relay personal information to the merchant. Instead of waiting to be mailed a form to open an account or order a phone line, a prospective customer needed only to send an application through cyberspace, resulting in shorter delivery time, improved accuracy, and quite often a higher positive perception. In fact, the Internet is an environment of zero latency, offering a real-time information and often on-demand product delivery. Internet users appreciate not having to go out of their way to buy what they want, and the simpler the process, the higher the potential for customer satisfaction. Indeed, the web offered customers options they hadn't had with other delivery channels. 24-hour access, up-to-the-minute information, the ability to research a product or merchant during a shopping trip, online customer support, online self-service, and personalized content. Consider the old way. A customer needs a new set of window blinds. He goes to the kitchen, finds the yellow pages, and calls his local blind company. The representative explains they can have someone come out and measure for the blinds a week from Thursday. The rep arrives from the blind company, measures, and shows the customer photos of various blind styles and colors. Then the rep takes another 2 days to write up an estimate. Almost 2 weeks later, the customer has the pricing information he needs. Now he must decide whether to get another estimate or take his chances with the only vendor he has contacted. Let's compare that to the web version. The customer enters mini blinds in his favorite search engine, which returns the websites for several catalog window treatment firms. He chooses a company which displays a series of blind design and prices per inch. The customer chooses a design he likes, enters his window measurement, and receives a price online including tax and shipping. Before purchasing, he browses a couple of other window websites for additional blind designs and prices, eventually placing his order in less than an hour. Although basic, this example illustrates why the web has made doing business easier than ever. For the customer, the time savings, even if he has to measure the window himself, is provided by orders of magnitude. Plus, while he awaits delivery, he can revisit the website to validate measurements or refresh his memory on his chosen style. For the blind retailer, the order arrives electronically, decreasing sales time while reducing the chance of error. Furthermore, the company has captured other information: the customer's preferred blind style, his neighborhood, his interior color scheme, for potential use in follow-up communications. Being a buzz term of the moment, CRM was bound to spawn similar acronyms. Here are some CRM-related terms you will come across in your CRM readings and listenings. eCRM. This refers to electronic customer relationship management, or more simply, CRM that is web-based. For instance, when you log on to golf retailer chipshot.com to see if they have shipped your new titanium driver, that is eCRM. Next one, Enterprise CRM. Somewhat confusingly, many experts and publications are using eCRM, alternatively coined ERM, to refer to Enterprise CRM, meaning a program that spans an enterprise-wide view of a customer. PRM, Partner Relationship Management, allows a company to manage its alliance partner and reseller relationships to provide customers with the optimal sales channel while streamlining the sales processes. Collaborative CRM denotes situations in which customers can interact directly with the organization, usually through the web. Supplier Relationship Management resembles Partnership Relationship Management in that it focuses on keeping external vendors happy, but SRM limits its focus to actual suppliers. Often operationally focused, Supplier Relationship Management helps companies evaluate and categorize suppliers for given projects to optimize supplier qualification and selection, thereby streamlining the supply chain. Mobile CRM suggests the provision of data to customers, suppliers, and business partners via wireless technologies. And this one, XCRM, and X is simply used as a placeholder for other CRM hybrids to come. Irrespective of the type of CRM a company is looking into, the common denominator is motivating the right customers to continue doing business with you. Another important CRM distinction is operational versus analytical CRM. The distinction is an important one because it speaks to the tactics a company is taking in implementing its CRM strategy. There is no one right answer to CRM implementation as long as business requirements drive the initiative. Operational CRM, also known as front office CRM, involves the areas where direct customer contact occurs. We'll refer to these interactions as customer touchpoints. A touchpoint can be an inbound contact, for example, a call to a company's customer support hotline, or an outbound contact, for example, an in-person sales call or an email promotion. The majority of self-described CRM products on the market today fall into the operational category. This figure here illustrates the various levels of operational CRM. Operational CRM enables and streamlines communications to and from customers, but this doesn't necessarily mean optimizing service. Just because a banking customer checks her balance on your website won't conclusively establish that she doesn't prefer to perform her transactions in the branch. But how do you know for sure? Analytical CRM, also known as back office or strategic CRM, involves understanding the customer activities that occurred in the front office. Analytical CRM requires technology to compile and process the mountains of customer data to facilitate analysis, and new business processes to refine customer-facing practices to increase loyalty and profitability. Under pressure from analysis and industry experts, most of today's CRM vendors are either creating analytical CRM capabilities or partnering with business intelligence vendors to incorporate analysis into their offerings. This picture here shows how the data and processes combine to refine business actions. The refined business actions piece of the puzzle is the most difficult of all to put in place. The greater the number of missing pieces, the harder it is to construct a meaningful CRM picture. Put another way, if enhanced customer loyalty is the door, integration is the key. Analytical CRM, when done right, involves large amounts of cross-functional data. This data is often stored on a data warehouse, a repository of corporate data from various sources intended to facilitate business analysis. Data warehouses continue to deliver critical knowledge in a range of industries, generating returns on investment in the hundreds of millions of dollars. The practice of using data warehouses to analyze business performance is known as business intelligence. Even the experts are confused about the differences between business intelligence and CRM, and the media often exacerbates the misunderstanding. Publications and conference presentations routinely confuse the two terms. Data warehouse vendors, whose markets are waning, most large companies already have at least one data warehouse, are hanging out the CRM single without refashioning the message. The major difference between business intelligence and CRM is that CRM integrates information with business action. CRM combines data analysis with the deployment of specific business actions. The ability to access data is by itself immensely powerful, but many business intelligence environments simply use data to confirm already held hypotheses. The mandate of CRM is the ability to act on that data and to change fundamental business processes to become more customer-centric. In the 1960s, the practice of motivational research sought to understand what made people tick. The hope was that company researchers could discover how to better market their products. The scope of these efforts remained unwavering in its product focus, however, with the customer acting as an ancillary component of the purchase cycle. Brand was king, as the saying went, and it would take many iterations of the marketing lifecycle for companies to understand the importance of a customer-focused business strategy. From product to the customer. In fact, product marketing became a study unto itself, its students testing the waters with a variety of gimmicks and promotional ideas. Part research, part guessing game, and part leap of faith, the practice of product marketing evolved into a formalized organization in most companies, and the process, as shown in this picture, was predictable. Product marketing campaigns were designed to reach as many people as possible. Mass marketing campaigns not only treated all customers as if they had the same needs and wants, but also focused on the product being pitched, not on its potential buyer. Mass marketing a product means stocking the same shelves across all stores with the same product and alerting potential customers in the same way. The underlying assumption was that the availability and choice of products a company offered consumers was the principal determinant of its success. A product focus nevertheless doesn't imply a lack of market understanding. On the contrary, as companies launched and relaunched their products, they began analyzing the responses to determine the success of marketing campaigns. Business journals waxed poetic on product distribution strategies, and statisticians were suddenly in demand as companies began institutionalizing such data analysis practices as product revenue analysis and price elasticity modeling. The 1960s introduced the phenomenon of direct marketing. It involved communicating with a large number of consumers, usually through promotional mailings or magazine advertisements, and inviting them to respond to the promotion by ordering the product through the mail. But direct marketers were pioneers in one respect. They monitored responses to their ads, often creating several versions of the same campaign and launching it in different areas of the country. They then analyzed relative response rates, whittling away the marketing messages that didn't work and refining other campaigns based on those learnings. Direct marketing stood the world of conventional advertising on its head, for the first time suggesting that messages could be tailored and consumers had preferences. Despite its sophistication relative to the more general mass marketing campaigns, a direct marketing promotion was considered a smash if it generated a 2% response rate. Target marketing. As consumers began purchasing and using products, more data became available about them. Data analysts began associating products to the customers who were buying them, and it was through these analysis activities, as well as rising temperatures in the competitive climate and a few timely magazine articles, that companies began to understand that their customer data could be as valuable as the product data they were busy probing. Thus evolved the term target marketing, the practice of promoting a product or service to a subset of customers and prospects. Technically, the size of a target market can range from the sum of all customers to a single individual, but during the early days of target marketing, when companies began using information technologies in creative new ways, market segmentation was the most widely adopted approach. Modern companies assign a variety of segments to their customers, often dynamically defining segments and temporarily regrouping customers for specific campaigns. Marketing departments routinely group customers into the following categories: geography or regionality, psychographics, firmographics, infographics, preferred sales channel, profitability, number of products, sales territory, tenure, lifetime value, household demographics, risk score, life stage, and privacy preferences. By segmenting customers, companies could begin more specialized communications about their products. Much of this relies on the company's understanding its business strategies to the extent that it knows its most desirable segments. For instance, if a bank has set its sights on deriving most of its profits from fee income products offered in its investment services line, customers of this organization will likely have different preferences and characteristics from those opening savings accounts. Segmenting customers based on their preferred line of business or desired product features can reveal interesting facts about their different preferences and behaviors. Many companies with the ability to analyze detailed customer data tend to segment customers on the basis of how likely they are to purchase a new product or service. Customers can be segmented based on their propensity to buy, which is illustrated in this table. The advantage of target marketing is that if the company has 50 million customers, only 14 million or so, 28%, will receive the promotional mailing for digital service. At a bulk rate of 8 cents per mailing, target marketing saves the company almost 3 million in postage alone. The company might incur labor and mail service costs, which should also be sharply reduced. This allows a company to steer clear of disinterested prospects and avoid the all too common practice of over-communicating to customer. It fosters the customer's perception that marketing is a tailored service, not an annoyance. Through the significant cost savings and increased response rates, target marketing justified increased expenditures for information technology. In fact, the better companies became at analyzing data about their customers, the more effective their campaigns became, creating the closed-loop effect illustrated in this figure. It illustrates that the more a company knows about its customers, the more detailed its marketing messages can be. Refined marketing campaigns targeted to customer segments rather than to the mass population became the marketing holy grail. Relationship marketing and one-to-one. That is until relationship marketing came along. Popularized by McKenna in his 1993 book, Relationship Marketing was embraced as a way for marketing departments to get to know their customers more intimately by understanding their preferences and thus increasing the odds of retaining them. Target marketing, cross-selling, and customer loyalty programs evolved from one-off pilot projects and became formalized as part of core marketing and sales processes. Also in 1993, Peppers and Rogers predicted the demise of the mass marketing tactic of relying on economies of scale to churn out huge quantities of standardized products. They declared the need to focus less on products and more on customer relationships. They rounded out marketing's evolution from mass marketing standard products to segmenting customers to true relationship marketing or one-to-one. This figure here shows the stages and their differences. One-to-one means not only communicating with customers as individuals, but also developing customer products and tailored messages based on customers' unspoken needs. It relies on a two-way dialogue between a company and its customers to foster a true relationship and allow customers to truly express the desires the company can help fulfill. It relies as heavily on the customer's experience of the company as it does on the specific marketing messages he receives. The concept of permission marketing goes hand in hand with one-to-one. Customers not only need to be communicated with as individuals, they themselves should be able to stipulate how and when. Permission marketing implies that the customer will decide when and for what reason she will accept to be interrupted with a marketing message. Most of the time, it's when the customer perceives there is value to her in such an interruption. The vision of one-to-one and permission marketing relies even more heavily on information technology to track individual customers, understand their differences, and acknowledge their interaction preferences. The purveyors of these visions often stop short of discussing how exactly a company can not only differentiate each discrete customer, but also put the business processes and organizational structures and technologies in place to treat them differently. Fortunately, companies had begun analyzing customer data even before the advent of relationship marketing, and thus the possibility of managing individual customer interactions based on the requirements of those individuals is becoming even more realistic. The trouble has been that they have underestimated the extent of the work necessary to realize the promise. If traditional marketing is, as the saying goes, part art and part science, the marketing of the future is pure science with a bit of flourish. The success of corporate marketing programs has become directly proportional to a company's ability to capture and analyze the right data. In days of mass marketing, with its batch and blast mentality, most companies would decide on a marketing campaign based on someone's interesting idea. A team of product managers would plan the campaign, coming up with hit or mass media guesses and sound bites. Then they would pull the ripcord and pray. It could take months to figure out whether a campaign was working and months more to repair and relaunch it. For one thing, finding, entering, storing, and tracking individual customer data records was beyond most companies' capabilities, not to mention their budgets. Paradoxically, the larger the company, the greater the number of customers, and thus the more cumbersome and expensive managing customer data became. Large companies began undergoing the arduous task of collecting and storing customer data in primitive databases. In the 1980s, the advent of relational databases and data warehouses promised to ease the pain of amassing detailed customer records and availing them to business users. Another challenge was the sheer labor involved in launching new marketing campaigns, rendered all the more difficult with the increasing frequency of smaller, more targeted promotions. Marketing departments needed to conceive of and plan the campaign, define the targeted consumers, determine the channel, how the campaign would be communicated, and then launch the promotion, as shown in this figure. But only those with the necessary data can really monitor the results of that campaign, and use those results to refine future campaigns, a process known as closed-loop campaign management. This means the ability not only to analyze and understand whether a campaign is a success and why, it means using that new knowledge as the basis for future campaigns, in effect closing the loop with evolving customer information. It could be months or even years before companies understood whether a marketing campaign was successful. No wonder the practice of campaign management mandated large marketing organizations and even larger marketing budgets. Many companies relegated the cumbersome work to marketing service bureaus or direct marketing agencies, whose turnaround time was less than stellar. The time and cost being spent on these campaigns and the opportunity cost associated with ad hoc or experimental promotions were noted by technology vendors, many of them database product companies, who began devising ways of automating key pieces of the campaign management process. The initial developments in campaign management software were list generators, leveraging current customer information in existing databases. List generation software dynamically segmented customers for certain campaigns using standard databases queries. The result was a list of customer names and addresses that fit the specified boundaries. As campaign management software became more popular, its features became more robust. The richer a company's customer database, the more it could leverage the data to actually understand customer behaviors and institute true one-to-one marketing. Many companies began addressing components of the full campaign lifecycle, including campaign definition, planning, customer segmentation, scheduling, response management, and opt-in versus opt-out processing. Most campaign management products aid the user in defining a workflow, including a schedule for the campaign. This allows a marketing department to delineate discrete tasks, specify cost and expected returns, and test various scenarios on different customer segments, campaign schedules, and product offers. Such products not only shortened the marketing lifecycle, they enabled companies to dedicate more time to customers and less on managing the marketing process. Freeing up time in turn allowed campaigns to be launched in parallel instead of serially. With marketing campaigns targeting increasingly smaller customer segments, companies can increase the number of campaigns simply to ensure that they continue interacting with as many customers as possible. And by tracking the success of campaigns over time, companies can refine them, resulting in even higher response rates and thus greater corresponding revenues. The practice of closed-loop campaign management, using the results of campaigns to refine future campaigns, has become an acknowledged CRM best practice. Companies simply don't purchase customer relationship management products to automate campaign management without a clear view of what they want to do. After all, companies devoid of a marketing vision rarely have sufficient budget for CRM software. Those who do have a variety of tactics in mind for increasing customer value and loyalty. Cross-selling and upselling. Cross-selling is the act of selling a product or service to a customer as a result of another purchase. An example of new mothers purchasing products for their babies at the same time they buy clothes for themselves is an example of cross-selling. Cross-selling is all the rage nowadays because selling more services to an existing customer increases revenue from that customer and costs less than acquiring a new one. Likewise, companies are frantically looking for opportunities to upsell or motivate their existing customers to trade up to more profitable products. The art of cross-selling and upselling is understanding which products will increase rather than decrease a customer's overall profitability. Simply cross-selling a customer an unprofitable product might actually render that customer less profitable than he was prior to the sale. Cross-selling done correctly means selling the right product to the right customer. It also means understanding that not every customer is a good candidate for cross-selling. For instance, credit card customers have proven to be poor cross-selling candidates because favorable interest rates and low fees, not the card itself or even the issuer, are the dominant determinant of consumer response to credit card offers. Understanding the ways by which customers evaluate how and whether to respond to such promotions is critical. Not surprisingly, the desire to improve cross-selling business practices accounts for much of the popularity of CRM marketing automation technologies. Customer retention. Understanding that customers have left and knowing specifically who is non-trivial. Understanding why they have left is even more difficult. Harder yet is stemming the tide of customer attrition by applying this knowledge to business tactics that encourage customers to stay. Analyzing customer attrition operates on the fact that keeping an existing customer is far more cost-effective than acquiring a new one. After all, the more customers leave, the greater the loss of revenue, loss of the initial acquisition investments, and loss of a stable market base for selling new products. Although this business tenet hasn't arrested the frenzy to acquire new customers, it has resulted in millions of dollars being spent to analyze not only why customers leave, but also which customers are the most desirable and thus worth keeping. Reducing customer defections by even a fraction has been proven to increase profits exponentially. Currently, companies are using sophisticated predictive technologies that compare like attributes of similar customers to delineate customers who are likely to churn, and they are simultaneously personalizing tailored marketing interactions designed to motivate those customers to stay. The trouble with customers' retention strategies is that once you have identified customers who might leave, how do you keep them? Despite sophisticated churn prediction products, most companies still don't really know whether product giveaways and add-on perks, whose initial cost outlay often exceed the resulting revenue contribution, really result in profitability. While they figure out the best way to keep customers who are on the brink of leaving, companies are working on designing marketing campaigns to bump low-value customers to a higher value band rather than allowing them to churn by default. Churn prediction is one of several uses of technology and data that aid marketing and predicting customer behavior. Although not so much a marketing practice as a marketing enabler, behavior prediction helps marketing departments determine what customers are likely to do in the future. Using sophisticated modeling and data mining techniques, behavior prediction uses historical customer behavior to foresee future behaviors. This analysis includes several variations. Propensity to buy analysis, understanding which products a particular customer is likely to purchase. Next sequential purchase, predicting what product or service a customer is likely to buy next. Product affinity analysis, understanding which products will be purchased with other products. Also known as market basket analysis, it can be viewed as examining products in a shopper's basket to understand possible product associations. Price elasticity modeling and dynamic pricing, determining the optimal price for a given product, often for a given customer or customer segment. By understanding how a customer is likely to behave, a company can make a host of marketing decisions based on this knowledge, including preemptively offering discounts or fee waivers to existing customers who are at risk of churning, refining target marketing campaigns to smaller customer segments or specific products, packaging certain products together and fixed pricing them to sell more products and increase their profitability, cross-selling products likely to be purchased with other products. The key to all this analysis, and especially to the actions that result, is knowing who your best customers are. Calculating overall customer profitability was nirvana for financial institutions in the late 20th century, but it wasn't easy. These businesses first had to understand the costs of their various products, then roll those products up to the account level, and then associate a single customer with multiple accounts and perhaps with a household. The extensive processing and detailed data required to calculate customer profitability, combined with the high cost of specialized profitability, modeling products kept it out of reach for even mid-market banks until recently. For the first time, companies could quantify that price-sensitive customers, those who bring in paper-thin margins, might never recoup their value irrespective of their purchase volume, yet certain low-volume customers were nevertheless highly profitable. But profitability is only a piece of the revenue puzzle. A customer can be unprofitable but could have referred 3 high-value customers to your company, thereby rendering himself very valuable. Despite not being currently profitable, a recent college graduate shows several signs of emerging profitability and thus might be considered valuable over her lifetime. Different companies in different industries will have different value metrics. Customer value is a pregnant phrase, variously referring to a customer's lifetime value, potential value, or competitive value. Many firms have formalized the practice of value modeling, allowing them to score a customer based on her relative worth to the company over time. The score is then used in a variety of ways to tune communications with that customers. Irrespective of the level of customer value being modeled, customer value measurement is data intensive. The challenge of value modeling is that it is only as accurate as the customer data is rich and the analysis statistically robust. Historical customer behaviors, product cost, support cost, customer profitability, and channel usage should all figure into the overall value of a customer. Basing customer value on only a single metric puts companies at risk of making erroneous decisions about how to communicate with customers and what to say, which could ultimately decrease customer satisfaction and increase attrition. The goal of marketing automation is to offer the right message to the right customer at the right time. With the advent of the internet, many firms are appending through the right channel to this maxim as customers' interaction preferences evolve. For instance, a new customer whose use of online banking services has steadily increased might prefer to be emailed a new offer along with her regular statement, whereas a retiree who enjoys visiting the neighborhood branch might be delighted when the branch manager offers her a cup of coffee and a brochure on a new annuity product. Indeed, banking customers have a range of choices when it comes to their preferred channels. Understanding the channels through which specific customers prefer to interact with your company is only a slice of the pie. Your company must also decide how best to communicate with your customers. Just because a valuable customer prefers making his deposits in the branch doesn't mean he won't demand comprehensive online statements. Channel management means optimizing a company's inbound channels with its outbound means of customer interaction and knowing how to choose the best approach for each. We'll continue with some other marketing initiatives in the next lecture. Let's continue with some other marketing initiatives. The first one is personalization. Practically all of us have purchased something over the internet, be it books, large appliances, or a pizza. But have you ever noticed that sometimes one of those websites seems to be talking right to you? Personalization is the capability to customize customer communication based on knowledge preferences and behaviors at the time of interactions. It can take any of the following two forms. First, you log on to your favorite music website. The site greets you with, "Hi Jim, welcome back. We have some new picks for you." You scroll down and see a variety of new CDs you have had your eye on but have been too busy to browse through at the record store. You double click on the cover of the new Beastie Boys anthology and listen to one of the cuts. Second, while channel surfing, you come across a hedge trimmer being featured on a home shopping station. You know your wife would love it. You call to order it and the operator greets you by name and asks for the item number. After confirming that the hedge trimmer can be sent overnight, she asks you whether you'd like to use your Visa card. She already has the number. You say yes. Obviously, your wife has shopped here before. Although both of these examples are leveraging personalization, the first example is personalization as most people know it: online messages tailored to a particular customer or customer segment. Such tailored messages can involve anything from inserting the web shopper's name into the message, known as variable insertion, to using detailed customer data to personalize website content. More specifically, personalization technologies can tailor messages to individual customers, accessing current personal data each time the customer visits the site, and using it to create custom content. These technologies enable analysis of each customer over time and across all channels, using customer profile data, past purchases, clickstream data, and web survey responses to determine, for instance, what product the customer is most likely to purchase next, or whether the customer is at risk and thus deserving of a discount offer to lure him back. A personalized message reflecting the results of that analysis is then delivered in real time when the customer visits the website. Personalization technologies can apply their learnings. If the customer responded to a discount on skis, it's likely she will be interested in cold weather apparel. The future personalized messages having proven improved response rates over time as the customer's behavior data becomes even more enriched. Personalization in the business-to-consumer space is largely based on the analysis of a customer's clickstreams, his navigation path through a company's website. By monitoring a customer's clickstream, a company can see not only what the customer purchased, but how the customer reached the site in the first place, how he traveled through the site after he got there, how much time he spent on each page, and which products might have stimulated purchases of other products. In short, clickstreams can shed light on a customer's web experience. For now, it's important to know that analyzing clickstreams can trigger dozens of new tactics, including changes to web impressions, according to a customer's navigation patterns and past purchases, custom promotions or discounts based on past purchases or research, and customized web pages according to the visitor's use of the site. Event-based marketing. The best definition of event-based marketing is a time-sensitive marketing or sales communication reacting to a customer-specific event. Event-based marketing, also called event-driven marketing, can apply to a segment of customers or to individual customers. For instance, mailing an application for an increase in collision damage insurance to all customers who have recently had traffic accidents is an example of event-based marketing to a largely undifferentiated segment of the existing customer base. But it's individual event-based marketing that companies adopting customer relationship management are striving for. They want to move beyond traditional, painstakingly choreographed and scheduled marketing campaigns to more reactive, real-time customer communications highly focused on the individual customer's profile. Most companies developing event-based marketing are doing so based on a clearly defined set of high-profile events that call for straightforward action. The ideal goal of event-based marketing is to be able to react to customers' events in near real time, soon after the actual event occurs. A simple example of this is the grocery store receipt featuring coupons on the back for merchandise you are likely to be interested in, but might not readily buy if unprompted. Such real-time event-based marketing means detecting and responding to events quickly, often using complex data mining capabilities, and requires an intimate understanding of possible events and their desired outcomes. Event-based marketing requires solid process automation and a well-calibrated workflow to be effective. For instance, a communications company wants to formalize a preemptive strategy for all high-value customers, 18% of the total customer population, when they experience dropped calls or mobile phone outages. The company has set the following success metric: the customer who experiences the outage must be contacted within 1 hour of the event, giving the company a shot at service recovery while it's still fresh and in customers' minds. The term event-based marketing is often used erroneously to replace live stage or live event marketing, in which a company determines where a customer is in the continuum of her lifespan in order to deliver the appropriate marketing messages. No matter what type of customer communication a company sends for marketing purposes, the ultimate goal is to get the customer to visit the store, catalog, or website, to buy products they are happy with, and to return often. Customer privacy. The success of the marketing programs hinges on the availability of customer data, and privacy is becoming an increasing concern for both consumers and the companies who market to them. If the indiscriminate use of individual consumer information is at the heart of the privacy debate, the speed of change is its lifeblood. CRM technologies such as data mining engines and personalization tools enable their users to not only understand a consumer's behavior history and preferences, but to predict what you might do next and to share this information without the consumers having a say. The increasing sophistication of such technologies and incendiary reports on identity theft, villainous web crawlers and web bugs and so-called Trojan horses fan the flame of consumers' paranoia. Witness the title of the book, Cybercrime, Cyberterrorism, Cyber Warfare, etc. The scare tactics are working. Add to all this the fact that consumers are feeling harassed. It's no longer enough to post a privacy policy on a website. Companies are being blacklisted by consumer organizations for contacting customers more frequently than they are comfortable with, or for simply sending duplicate mailings. The point to incorporating privacy measures into a CRM initiative is this: the customer doesn't care about your company's intent, it's the behavior that counts. A duplicate mailing or unwanted phone call can be the innocent result of an incomplete customer profile or simple data error. But from the customer's perspective, it could mean all your outbound communications are suspect. Using a customer's data without their permission need occur only once before the customer is lost. Companies are increasingly limiting the number of messages they send to their customers in an effort to maintain goodwill. But if your company believes every customer is indeed an individual, contact preferences will be different too. Understanding the type of marketing message and its optimal channel aren't enough. You must understand each customer's preferred interaction frequency as well. Despite the customer relationship management frenzy, good customer service is harder to come by than ever before. Everybody seems to have a service horror story, and everybody is more than happy to share it. No wonder most companies planning customer relationship management projects begin with the goal of improving customer support. If anything can affect a customer's experience, it's the service, or lack thereof. Call centers, increasingly known as contact centers, customer interaction centers, or somewhat optimistically customer care centers or even knowledge centers, were around long before customer databases. And friendly service was the hallmark of such companies as the Walt Disney and State Farm Insurance, even before the web made its mark. Companies have long known that customer support is critical to both keeping existing customers and acquiring new ones. What they haven't always known is how to perform it effectively. Until recently, executives considered their company's contact centers a necessary cost of doing business and treated them as if they served the sole purpose of weighing down corporate profitability. Call center hiring involved merely testing how fast a job candidate could type. Call centers operators had been responding to each call as if it were unique, in effect proving their executives partially right. Call center technologies entered the marketplace to effectively alleviate some of the repeat work and increase efficiencies, allowing companies to handle escalating call volume. Call center products offered the creation of trouble tickets for customer complaints and provided tracking of trouble tickets from the seminal call through its resolution. Customer service representatives could look up similar calls and resolutions while a customer was on the phone without having to repeat research. Such vendors legitimately aid their clients in increasing agent productivity and turnover rates, expediting training, gauging the effectiveness of solutions offered, and ideally shortening problem resolution times and reducing costs. Most companies use statistics from their call center products to track customer service representative performance, compensating them according to the volume of calls they can support. Contact centers have evolved quickly from a group of local workers answering phones during business hours to a dedicated organization providing on-demand global support and sales through several different channels. Companies are realizing increasingly that their customer relationships are only as good as the quality of their support and are adopting computer telephone integration features that automate various communication processes. Co-routing. A company's customer support help desk might actually be made up of several or many geographically dispersed contact centers. These contact centers might be segregated based on the location of the company's offices, staff expertise or product specialization, proximity to key research and development activities, the locations of the firm outsourcing the company's contact center, and so on. Because performance remains the central metric of contact center success, minimizing the time a customer waits on hold for a customer service representative stays a top priority. The concept of follow-the-sun customer care emerged, meaning call centers were either geographically placed or open around the clock to accommodate customers in different time zones. Call centers have become like all-night convenience stores. They offer a range of services and are open 24 hours. To further minimize customers' wait times, load balancing, the ability of the network to automatically route a customer's call to the first available operator, is a critical operational objective. Network routers monitor operator availability while keeping track of the incoming calls in the queue, using switch technology to allocate calls appropriately. This automatic call distribution not only reduces the time a customer stays on hold by efficiently routing calls to available agents, but it can also apply intelligence about the customer to its decision about where to route a call. More sophisticated automatic call distribution, also known as precision call distribution, facilitates calls to be routed to agents who have access to specific information or with particular areas of expertise. It can delineate a company's valuable customers by mapping the incoming phone number to the customer profile, thus prioritizing customer calls to favor repeat customers or routing customers to specifically agents who are instructed in ways to differentiate treatment based on the customer's assigned segments. Interactive voice response systems provide round-the-clock routing based on a customer's response to questions typed on her telephone keypad. The now pervasive instructions press 1, press 2, press 3, etc. delay contact with a human being, allowing customer service representatives to dispense with qualifying a caller before helping her. Automated speech recognition features can offer customers even more options by allowing callers to communicate their troubles without having to navigate an often cumbersome multi-layered phone menu. Speech recognition technologies deconstruct the words in a sentence string to provide a call center with more choices offered through the digits and yes/no options available from a numeric keypad. Contact center sales support. Your customer has just purchased a diamond solitaire necklace and would like to know if there are matching earrings. Such an interaction could be just another customer inquiry of an opportunity to generate additional revenue. With the right information, often displayed via a little window called a screen pop on the customer service rep's workstation, a rep can gauge an incoming call to determine whether the customer on the other end of the phone line is a good candidate for another product or service. The call center as a point of sale is a relatively new practice that requires a combination of robust customer data and customer service representatives' finesse, because the customer service representatives needs to transcend his traditional role of answering questions, landing smack in the middle of revenue generation. This type of sales support not only saves the company money by preempting an in-person sales visit, but it can also provide more information to the customer than a direct sales call. After all, the customer service representative has product information at his fingertips and can even push through an in-progress sales activity. Even if a customer chooses not to respond to a contact center cross-sell or web promotion offer, the simple act of mentioning a complementary product or service is a way to provide product information to customers who might not have otherwise known about it, thereby establishing mindshare. Web-based self-service. Customers are both refreshed and annoyed by company websites intermediating the support process. After all, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Shouldn't you be able to talk to a human being when you want? The previously mentioned redundancy of calls to customer support center has initiated the automation of customer support processes, not only increasing support efficiencies but also allowing customers a greater degree of access to important information via the web any time of the day for a variety of questions. Most websites have made frequently asked questions a side staple. Frequently asked questions answers questions such as these. Where is the company headquartered? How do I return an item? I have moved. How do I update my profile? How do I review my account? How to change a password, etc. The more choices customers have in how they can deal with the company, the more likely they will be satisfied with that company's service. This can mean something as simple as a company email address provided on the website, so customers can provide the company with details on a question or problem. It can also mean the inclusion of a Call Me button that allows the customer to request an in-person conversation with a company representative on the company's nickel. Indeed, many companies have taken person-to-person electronic support one better by offering customers the ability to chat online with a customer care representative. Live person chat features bring customer support to real time. Customers with a single phone line need not log off the website to call an 800 number. Likewise, customer service representatives staffing live chats can service more than one customer simultaneously. Live chat helps ensure that the customer stays on the site and takes his online shopping cart through checkout rather than abandoning it. This increases the likelihood not only of sales and thus revenues, but of customer satisfaction as well. A recent survey showed that 56% of all financial services companies either failed to respond to customer emails in a timely fashion or never responded at all. Customer satisfaction measurement. The days of the independent survey company calling you at dinner time and asking you to answer a few questions about your recent purchase with its client company are mercifully coming to an end. Although the demise of customer service has been greatly exaggerated, companies are using more innovative ways to gather information about customers' impressions and leveraging the findings to improve service. Survey mailings endure as the principal way for companies to monitor customer satisfaction. In the old days, a company or external survey firm mailed the customer a questionnaire which, when remitted, was analyzed and its responses compared to gauge overall customer opinion. In the past, such surveys have been innocuous and geared toward a general audience. Most often, they would solicit information about whether the company representative was friendly and whether the customer would remain loyal. These days, such survey forums not only monitor customer satisfaction, but detailed questions are often personalized to specific customers or customer segments. Responses are input into customer databases and included as part of individual customer profiles. Such tracking of customer satisfaction over time enables a company to fine-tune how it communicates with its customers according to their preferences. Companies who have detailed customer databases can also map survey responses to customer value, thus prioritizing requested product improvements based on the customer segments they will affect. But with the advent of e-business, paper-based service are setting ground to electronic customer communications. With increasing frequency, visitors exiting a website are being greeted with pop-up screens inquiring about their experience on the site. Some companies design online service to solicit customer feedback that can directly affect how a company improves its customer communications. Such services are designed, distributed, and analyzed to discover what will make customers return to a company's website, how customers found the site, why customers didn't or did make a purchase during the visit, why customers did or didn't register on the site, which features the customers found particularly useful on site, how the customer's impressions about the company of the brand was affected by this visit, and how customers would rate this site in comparison to the websites of the company's competitors. Such electronic services are becoming increasingly sophisticated, serving as the technical equivalent of the focus group with more science and sense the overhead. Companies can randomize their service and achieve detailed response reports. Many companies who might have developed their own websites and the accompanying infrastructures have nevertheless chosen to outsource their customer service to firms that specialize in designing custom questionnaires, tallying responses, and mapping survey results to the client company's overall strategic goals. As customer contact centers become more automated, the infrastructure improves. Customer databases become richer, and customer behavior and preferences can actually be predicted by a company by comparing them to the behaviors of similar customers over time. Because of this increased customer intelligence, the capability to provide customer service representatives with situational scripts is emerging as a must-have for many contact centers. Such scripts eliminate agent guesswork by providing the representatives with a logical series of talking points and guiding her through a dialogue with the customer based on such factors as the reason for the contact, the customer's value, cross-selling opportunities, and propensity to buy data, current production promotions or discounts, and past due bills or accounts payable issues. Some products provide natural language support, meaning the agent can enter a sentence or phrase and be supplied with the appropriate response. Others features logging of transcripts, allowing a company to retain a running text log of each customer chat. Saving such information allows call center reps to email transcripts of customer conversations to subject matter experts or even call up past chats in real time while the customer is online. Even vendors of customer relationship management products designed to support scripting admit there is no such thing as a canned response, and their software can't possibly make up for a customer service representative with deep product knowledge and a good disposition. However, scripting helps a company's contact center present a uniform image of the company by ensuring that the company responds in a consistent way to common problems so two different customers don't get two different answers. Customer relationships management metamorphoses from a focused application into an enterprise-wide business initiative has everything to do with its beginnings in Salesforce automation. Because in many ways the various customer-focused projects in marketing and customer support act as an input to Salesforce automation project. After all, a company that can collect and understand customer touchpoints from its marketing and contact center organizations can feed this new knowledge to its sales group, fostering relationship and revenue improvement. SFA products were originally meant to improve sales force productivity and encourage salespeople to document and communicate their field activities. However, Salesforce automation products are becoming increasingly focused on cultivating customer relationships and improving customer satisfaction. SFA product vendors set out to automate the answers to some basic sales rep questions that when answered could help them be more productive. Salesforce automation products run the gamut from rudimentary calendar support and scheduling to real-time alerts about customer events. Irrespective of the vendor or product, most Salesforce automation tools claiming the CRM moniker fall into one or more of the following categories. Sales Process Activity Management. Many SFA products depict a sales methodology that can usually be customized to the company's specific sales policies and procedures. Known as Sales Process Management, such tools include a sequence of sales activities that can guide sales reps through each discrete step in the sales process. This not only makes certain sales reps consider each step in the sales cycle, providing a unified sales process throughout the company, but also ensures that follow-up activities are performed, indeed are assigned and scheduled automatically. Sales process management tools by themselves aren't that sophisticated. When they are deployed across the country or around the world, however, they can serve as an effective training aid, minimize human error, and ultimately result in greater productivity for both individuals and entire team. Activity management tools offer calendars to assist in the planning of key customer events such as proposal, presentations, or product demonstrations. Alarm reminders can signal important tasks as they become due, generate documents as they are needed, or make decisions based on the user's input. The ability to oversee activities within the sales process enables management staff to schedule and assign discrete tasks, in effect automating both an individual and organizational to-do list. This streamlines team selling and ensures company-wide consistency of the cycle. Team collaboration tools let remote team members chat in real time using a web browser, further ensuring synchronization of effort and rendering sales meetings and training updates more timely and practical. Managers can save chat sessions to a central server for absent team members or later reference. Activity management tools can also provide valuable post-facto analysis of a sales cycle, allowing the sales team to examine the duration and procedures involved in critical tasks. The sales organization thus comes to understand the success factors that contribute to closing a sale, leading to refining of processes over time. Sales and territory management. From a team management perspective, many Salesforce automation products enable managers to set up sales teams and link individuals to accounts, regions, and industries. Such teams can include both field account teams and telesales organizations, and can even integrate web sales data into the results for a robust view of the corporate sales environment. Teams can also be linked to headquarters specialists, such as industry experts or product managers. Some SFA tools support personal data about each individual to generate staff and team profiles. Likewise, sales managers can track territory assignments and monitor pipelines and leads for individual territories. Most SFA tools offering such territory management capabilities provide security features that limit an account manager's activity to her own territory. When necessary, however, sales management tools can provide a host of information on one account or many, freeing geographically dispersed staff from having to request or run cumbersome reports to understand account status or prior order history. Overall sales and territory management capabilities allow managers not only to understand sales activities as they occur, but also to optimize individual teams according to critical mass and skill sets appropriate for the client or prospect, increasing the odds of closing the deal. Contact management. Contact management is the subset of Salesforce automation that deals with organizing and managing data across and within a company's client and prospect organizations. Contact management software can contain various modules for maintaining local client databases, displaying updated organization charts, and allowing salespeople to maintain notes on specific clients or prospects. Many also allow users to query remote databases for supplementary information or to synchronize laptop local data with a corporate customer database. With contact management tools, salespeople can answer several types of questions. What is our contact individual for client X? What is client X mailing address? In which office is the client's accounts payable department? Who is the client's purchasing agent? Who already has a brochure, etc. Much of the customer relationship management software available today that falls under the contact management rubric interfaces with Microsoft Outlook or similar products. This linkage allows sales reps to supplement their phone lists and calendars with fulfillment features to track customer mailings or automated workflow programs that can assign and route appointments. As a part of a larger CRM product suite, many contact management tools enable salespeople to communicate their schedules to the organization at large. The real value of contact management CRM is in its capability to track not only where customers are but also who they are in terms of their influence and decision-making cloud. Many contact management tools can interface with sales management functions to help optimize the number and skills of team members involved in high-profile sales efforts. Lead management. CRM vendors claim that the capabilities described so far push sales prospects through the pipeline more quickly. But who is in the pipeline anyway, and how long will they be there? Lead management, also known as opportunity management and pipeline management, aims to provide foolproof sales strategies so no sales task, document, or communication falls through the cracks. Thus, salespeople can follow a defined approach to turning opportunities into deals. Many lead management products not only track customer account history, but also monitor leads, generate next steps, and refine selling efforts online. Some Salesforce automation products enable a company's marketing or sales management organization to automatically distribute client leads to a field or telemarketing rep based on the rep's product knowledge or territory. Because the organization has presumably already qualified these leads through marketing campaigns or client referrals or via an internal customer support rep, this type of lead distribution can result in faster deals and higher close rates. In addition, SFA tools can track other prospect attributes such as known product interests, discretionary budget amounts, and likely competitors, providing a real-world view of each lead and its likelihood of becoming a full-fledged sale. This information can feed sales forecasting software and result in more accurate predictions than relying on traditional spreadsheets of past performance. Other SFA products bring the sales process full circle, tracking leads against orders to provide a view of close rates and salesperson productivity. This information can then be reported back to the marketing manager who originally designated the lead. This enables marketing to compare a campaign's result to actual sales of that product and refine future campaigns over time. Configuration support. Because many of these tools allow a salesperson to input client and prospect information into an easy-to-use tool, CRM products have evolved to leverage this information by providing product-specific configuration support to companies who must build products for their customers. Such companies, computer technology vendors, appliance manufacturers, and telephone companies among them, no longer undergo the painstaking process of factoring in complex customer attributes and requirements to build a solution from scratch. CRM vendors providing this type of functionality often use the graphical sales process as a way to consider each step of the cycle. After the order stage has been reached, the tool can calculate a product configuration and price quote automatically. When this is finished, a configuration tool can provide forms that facilitate electronic communication of the information to other areas of the company. For instance, an account manager can generate a configuration and price, email his district manager the price quote for approval, and check inventory for stock, all while sitting with the customer. Knowledge management. As field salespeople know all too well, a lot more than customer data is necessary for selling, and the more information available, the better. Organizations have a plethora of information an account rep can use sometime during the sales life cycle. Accessible internal documents can provide the sales force with the information it needs to understand a variety of components in the sales life cycle. Such information might include corporate policy handbooks, sales representation slides, company phone lists, proposal templates, expense report forms, and so on. How effectively salespeople use this disparate information depends on how easily they can access it. More and more companies are developing corporate intranets for headquarters and field staff alike, facilitating the dissemination of critical corporate knowledge. Systems that can locate and store such information and provide users with a means of communicating about and adding to its contents from a single application are known as knowledge management systems. Many customer relationship management tools geared to sales force automation include functions specific to accessing and conversing on a range of corporate documentation to supplement sales efforts and provide fast data during the heat of the sale. Most knowledge management systems do all of this. Include a means of granting individuals control or editing rights over a document to avoid users working on the same material simultaneously. Provide a history of who has modified material and when. Offer a search engine allowing users easy file lookup by keyword. Allow users to view various files and documents via a portal that unifies materials that in fact exist in many different places. Although not exclusive to sales organizations, knowledge management systems are increasingly popular with large companies, such as consulting firms that have geographically dispersed employees. The existence of a consolidated view through which the field force can access a variety of information delivers increased efficiencies. Many of today's e-businesses have made the often fatal mistake of delaying customer-focused initiatives until their companies turn a profit. With pressure to gain market share, these companies have adopted the customer at any cost credo. In their zeal to capture market share, they assumed all customers are created equal. This meant handing free goods and services to new customers who might not return, selling products at cost or below, and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on mass marketing campaigns with no hope of recouping their investments. Analysts didn't help matters by proclaiming early-to-market e-commerce companies the winners in their online categories, unless of course you were a customer expecting freebies and rock-bottom prices. Notwithstanding well-designed websites, sleek product demos, and futuristic trade show booths, a number of e-commerce companies went belly up, and hundreds more saw their stock prices plunge at exponentially higher rates than those of their brick-and-mortar counterparts. Many of these companies were focused more on their website traffic than on their profitability. They soon learned the number of visitors didn't necessarily correlate with the number of customers, those who made purchases at the site. Marketing campaigns were focused at the former, visitors, whose intentions were informational or who might have stumbled upon the site accidentally, and not the customer who would ultimately determine their profits. Visitor-focused campaigns and number of hits reports would fail to recoup the hefty investments made in these companies. With the right customer relationship management functionality, a delivery service would know when to waive the surcharge to keep the customer. In many such cases, 10% of a company's customers account for 90% of the profit. Unfortunately, .com companies offering commodity-based products have been investing more in their basic infrastructures, warehousing and distribution, recruiting costs, and such, and less in analysis capabilities that would tell them who their good customers are. Some would argue they have no choice. Others would maintain that without a clear view of the customers they want to attract and those they want to keep, the best logistics and the best procurement in the world won't matter. Pure Play.com retailers are getting a run for their money these days from traditional retailers who have parlayed their existing infrastructure into a competitive edge. After all, brick-and-mortar businesses have mastered economies of scale, having learned the lesson early that a wider variety of well-priced products will draw more customers, and they are expert at getting rid of non-productive inventory. In leveraging the internet, these brick-and-mortar firms find themselves firmly planted in the world of e-commerce with the systems and processes in place to support them. Multi-channel CRM. Some predict that the brick-and-mortar companies will have the last laugh. After all, for every futurist proclaiming the web will revolutionize the world, there is a pragmatist who pronounces it just another channel. Although both might be right, it's where the internet provides the most value that it incites the greatest change. Many acknowledged e-commerce best practices are retailers who combine powerful online features, including customer self-service such as order and shipment tracking, with an established brick-and-mortar presence, giving customers the experience they still want. Physical storefront or no, the service orientation of e-commerce leaders aims at giving customers as many choices as possible, puts more power in the customer's hands. Web-enabled self-service allows customers to use vendor sites to change their own addresses and track their own orders, and many are providing powerful search engines and other features to keep customers on their sites and keep them coming back. But such value-added features motivating customers to return to the website, catalog, or store don't necessarily guarantee customers will buy more of a company's products. Effective marketing means more than just a slick website and automated campaigns. And the more companies know about how their customers prefer to interact with them, the better service they can provide. CRM in business to business. Companies that are actually communicated with online markets have flunged the doors wide open. They are constantly searching for solid information they can share with customers and prospects via web and FTP sites, email lists, phone calls, whatever it takes. They are not half as concerned with protecting their data as with how much information they can give away. That's how they stay in touch, stay competitive, keep market attention from drifting to competitors. Such companies are creating a new kind of corporate identity, based not on the repetitive advertising needed to create brand awareness, but on substantive personalized communications. There is no question that the internet has streamlined business processes, providing efficiencies unmatched by traditional ways of doing business. The web makes things happen faster. But is it speed enough? In the early days of e-business, companies built their websites implementing so-called storefront software that enabled them to accept a customer's credit card information and automatically check inventory. They then ensured that their systems were robust enough to allow customers 24/7 access. .com companies had to build organizations to support inventory tracking, delivery, and returns processing, and traditional companies had to quickly incorporate the web channel into existing business practices. The ability to exploit multiple channels introduces a series of headaches for the IT executives charged with integrating legacy applications such as fulfillment and purchase order systems with the web. The better the organization's current computing power, the more effective will be integration of the new web channel into existing operations. Don't get me wrong, the web shouldn't simply be shoehorned into a company's existing business unless processes are already robust. Simply put, mere automation of business processes isn't enough. Companies will be expected to provide their customers and suppliers with even more information than ever before. To do that, they need the best databases with the highest quality data and the applications and processes necessary to deliver that data. not to mention a cultural willingness to share data with suppliers and customers. Whether the company was a pure-play .com retailer or a traditional brick-and-mortar general merchandiser, key processes such as ordering, fulfillment, inventory management, and distribution all had to run at web speed. The challenge of streamlining the supply chain to keep pace loomed ever more large. As companies adopt the mantra of differentiate or die, they realize that manufacturing, like customer service, is an area of opportunity.